Not many people are big fans of limited run for one reason or another. A lot of people feel like they're creating artificial scarcity in the video game marketplace with their limited number of printed games. A lot of people also really don't like how long it takes for you to actually get your physical copy in hand once you pre order certain games. And the feelings on limited run are a bit of a mixed bag. I remember there was a time when limited run felt really exclusive. It felt almost premium. And then they decided to, they've had different partners, right? They were partnering with Best Buy at one point. I felt like they also were on Amazon. So you would see certain limited run games on Amazon. And now you're seeing limited run in GameStop at this point. And, again, a lot of people have mixed feelings on limited run, but I personally have appreciated limited run probably more so for their earlier titles or the earlier games that they had released, 4, 5, 6 years ago. I remember, when they were printing games for the 3DS, for the Vita, those were very fun and interesting times. And obviously, we've seen them make games for the PlayStation 4, the Switch, the Xbox One, and then, of course, once the PlayStation 5 came out, we're seeing games on the PlayStation 5. Now, there is something that I'm noticing with limited run, though, which is a little bit telling for the PlayStation 4 as we know it. And I'm seeing less and less versions of a game being printed for the PlayStation 4. What I mean when I say that is if a new game comes out, you'll see limited run make versions for the PlayStation 5, Xbox One, and Switch, but you're not seeing the PlayStation 4 version as much. I'm not saying that they don't make any games for the PlayStation 4, but it looks like the PlayStation 5 is starting to take priority over the PS4. And 9 times out of 10, if they have to choose between which PlayStation console they're going to make the game for, it looks like they're choosing the PlayStation 5 more and more frequently. And I kind of realized this with their newest announcement. I got an email today that pre-orders opened for Shinobi: The Art of Vengeance, and that is a 2D side-scrolling hack and slash ninja game that I've been anxiously waiting to sink my teeth into. There's basically 3 to 4 games, well maybe 5 2D side scrollers that I've really got my eye on. Shinobi: The Art of Vengeance is one, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is another, Power Rangers Rita's Rewind is another, Terminator 2D is also another, and there's one more, Marvel Cosmic Heroes, I believe is what it's called. That's the fifth one. So there's 5 2D side scrollers that I'm really looking forward to, and Shinobi: The Art of Vengeance was one that I've had my eye on for some time. So when the pre-orders were announced and I got that notification in my email, I of course was excited to look and see if I could put my pre-order in. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I will be pre-ordering The Art of Vengeance. But when I saw the consoles that they were making the game for, the only consoles that I saw were PlayStation 5, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch. And I thought, that's actually pretty interesting. No PlayStation 4 installment. I thought it was a little interesting. Now, I have seen Limited Run go back and retroactively release games for the PlayStation 4. Most recently, they've got Steel Assault available for on the PlayStation 4. That is a game I highly recommend you pick up. If you never heard of Steel Assault, if you never played Steel Assault, I suggest getting it on the PlayStation 4. You can try getting it on the Switch, but the prices of that game for the Switch have kind of ballooned. I've seen it go for around 100. It's going for roughly around 100 right now. But it's actually come back down. I think one of the lowest prices I saw was around $70, but Steel Assault is a really good game. Nevertheless, they have released that on the PlayStation 4 very recently, but Steel Assault was released years ago for the Switch. Because I remember when I first got it, when it first released. They've also done that with Anno Mutation M. I think it's called Anno Mutation M or something like that. There's another game that was released on the Switch, and then they retroactively did that on the PlayStation 4. And I think they did the same thing with Fury. So I'm not sure if these are games that they have in their vault, because they have this whole vault section on their website where I guess you can go and see some of their earlier print runs, and they kind of restock some of these. Maybe they find some of these somewhere in their warehouse and they put them up on the site for customers to be able to purchase them. But when it comes to these new releases, like I said, in the Shinobi Art of Vengeance, which I'm sure will get some type of general release, I'm sure we'll see that available on Amazon or at GameStop and other retailers. But, limited run is usually the first to kind of put their stamp on these games. And, in certain cases, if you order it through limited run, you'll get some type of instruction manual or booklet. Sometimes when you order it through like just a regular retailer, you don't get any kind of instruction booklet or any kind of extras with it. So that's sometimes the benefit of ordering some of these games through limited run. But in the case of the PlayStation 4, it just seems like they're opting to go with the PlayStation 5 instead for some of these newer releases, which is kind of a sad signal for the PlayStation 4 because it means that we're truly moving away from it, at least from an indie perspective. Now, I don't really keep up with AAA titles to see what new AAA titles coming out on any console or any platform for that matter. And I don't know if there's any new games coming out on the PlayStation 4 still, or if it's been fully retired and the sun has set on that era of PlayStation. But I would have to say that if the sun has not yet set on the PlayStation 4, it's got to be coming very, very soon. For one, the PlayStation 5 has been out for half a decade at this point, and we're probably less than half a decade away from seeing Sony's next console, the PlayStation 6. I kind of said that before once on my channel. I got a lot of comments, people saying that we're a long ways off, and you get mixed reviews. Some people feel like we're a long way away from the PlayStation 6. A lot of people think that we will probably begin to see hints about that within the next 5 years. In any event, what that means for the PlayStation 4 is that it will be a full retirement of that console. No more games being made for it, nothing else being developed for it. And, what we have for it is going to be what we have for it, which, is going to be interesting. I feel like the PlayStation 4 has been around for an extremely long time. I feel like I've seen the PlayStation 4 around for forever. I mean, for more than the last 10 years. I remember getting a PlayStation 4, seeing a PlayStation 4, I think at least back in like 2014, maybe 2015. And I know it's probably been around longer than that. So it has to be at least a full decade since we've had the PlayStation 4. I don't know the exact dates of when it's released, but it has been around for quite some time. And I think it's probably time to let it go. But I don't know if the sun setting on the PlayStation 4 is really going to be that meaningful, seeing as how Sony likes to regurgitate some of its more popular titles, especially when it comes to the AAA stuff. And when it comes to the stuff that's exclusive to the PlayStation 4 itself, there's only a few games that, at least in my collection, that come to mind. Games like Gravity Rush 2. I don't think we ever saw Gravity Rush 2 released on any other console or any other platform. I'm not sure if the first Gravity Rush got a PS5 release. I feel like I know the first Gravity Rush is at least on the Vita, but I don't think we saw Gravity Rush 2 released anywhere else. Also, when I think about games like Berserk and the Band of the Hawk, I don't think we got any other version of Berserk and the Band of the Hawk outside of the PlayStation 4. So there are certain games that are locked to the PlayStation 4, unless obviously there's some type of PlayStation 5 release for it. And then, of course, you're going to have people say that you can play PlayStation 4 games on the PlayStation 5, yada, yada, yada. But I'm talking about games that are exclusive to the console at this point. So if this is the current and future trend for limited run to continue to exclude PlayStation 4 versions of their physical releases, it's going to be a sad day because there are certain cases where I do prefer to play some of these games on a PlayStation 4 as opposed to a Switch. It's just something about the PlayStation 4 controller that I prefer. But what do you guys think? How close are we to the end of the PlayStation 4? What do you think is going to happen in terms of limited run, and not just limited run, but some of these AAA companies as well? So let me know that. Before I go, I will say that we had 2 more games come in. We only got 1 more day for game hunting in May. So if you do plan on doing some game hunting, good luck to you tomorrow. It's the 31st. It's the last day. Make the most of it. I myself got 2 more pickups. Definitely stoked about these. The first is the Capcom Classics Collection remixed on the PSP. A bunch of really cool titles on this, man. 1941, great shoot 'em up. Forgotten Worlds, another great shoot 'em up. Originally came out on the Sega Genesis. Strider Final Fight, Good stuff, man. Bionic Commando, Revengers, Street Fighter Section Z, some really good stuff. So I am a fan of these games that came out for the PSP. Reloaded, I think, is better though. I think Capcom Classics Reloaded has actually some better titles. And then here is a true gem of a game, Dual Hearts. If you've never heard of Dual Hearts, this is like an RPG on the PlayStation 2. A rather good RPG, by the way. It's been a long time since I played this one, but this is an Atlas RPG. Got both of these. This was 38 bucks. This was $9, so not bad at all. We'll see what else we can do tomorrow with it being the last day of game hunting. But yeah, let me know what you think about the pickups. Have you picked anything up yourself? And let me know what you think about the ending of the PlayStation 4's run. That does it for me. It's the Y2K Collector. Have a great weekend.